Right, welcome back to another game from the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. My name is Brian Happerkamp. I'm the designer and creator here at Clark and Addison. And in this video, we're going to have 3 classic Super Bowls using the new drive-by-drive engine and play-action football. So we'll have 1984, which is the 85 Super Bowl, 1985, which is the 86 Super Bowl, and then 2007, which would be the 2008 Super Bowl. Again, these played in January, so it's sort of technically the next year Super Bowl. But let's get going with Miami and San Francisco 1984. Both teams were a +2 overall and 3 -1, so 3 on offense, best you can be, -1 on defense, which was pretty average. And we'll see how this one turns out. So the visiting team, Miami, will receive first. Doesn't really matter that much. There's no home field advantage in the Super Bowl, or at least I'm not giving it to anyone. 13, no injury, or actually, let's do the kickoff roll. Let's see if there's a kickoff return for a touchdown. There's not. So let's do that again. So 12 is nothing. 9 +2 is 11. Play reaches the edge of field goal range. Let's go ahead and try to make the field goal 1-4. We're going to look at the red die. It is a 4, and that is a field goal. We'll call that 43 yards. So 43-yard field goal for the Dolphins gets them on the board first. And next up is San Francisco with their first drive. So 18 for the Niners is nothing. 11 turns into 13, and that will be a 24-yard chip shot field goal, and that'll tie the game at 3. So both teams with a field goal in their first drive. 15 is nothing. 9 becomes 11. Again, we get to the edge of field goal range. Let's go ahead and punt this time, and we'll force a little bit of a defensive battle here. So San Francisco is going to get the ball back, but they have a -1 to this roll, which means they're only a +1. 11, 16 becomes 17, and that's going to be a touchdown run of 39 yards. So 39-yard TD run for 6. So the defensive plan backfires for Miami, and we leave the first quarter. It's now 10-3. San Francisco over the Dolphins. Dan Marino fights back. 9 becomes 11. They're forced with the field goal chance again. This is going to be another 1-4. It's made. It's a 10, and so that's going to be a field goal miss. Let's see if there's a field goal block. No field goal block. We have a 5, so just a straight up missed field goal, and San Francisco is going to get the ball. $17 is a defensive penalty, so San Francisco has sort of a free play here. 11 becomes 13. They can take the penalty and roll again or decline. That's going to end with 3 points. Do you take the points off the board? We're going to go ahead and do that. And we'll roll again. 14 is nothing. 12 becomes 14. So they get a little better result out of it. Maybe. 1-4. Joe Montana scrambles for a first down. It's a 9. He's going to get sacked, and that's going to be a field goal of 34 yards. So they wind up with a field goal anyway, as they took points off the board because of the defensive penalty, and it'll be Miami football. 6 is nothing there. 11 becomes 13. That'll be a field goal for 27 yards. So field goal fest here. As neither team, well, we had San Francisco break through once, but nobody really breaking through on the TD front. 4 is nothing. 14 becomes 16. That is a long drive, and there will be a touchdown run of 15 yards as San Francisco eats up the clock there at the end of the first half. They're going to take a, 20-6 lead going into halftime. It will be San Francisco football coming out of the half. They get a 16. That's nothing. 7 becomes 9. And do we pass deep or short? Let's go ahead and go for the short pass, 1-8. It's a catch, and the drive ends in a field goal. It'll be a 38-yard field goal. With the lead here, they just want to extend the lead. And it's Miami. Who needs to make some plays here? 10 is nothing. 7 becomes 9. They have the deep or short pass. They're going to take the deep pass as Dan Marino lines it up, and that is going to be an INT. So Marino with the interception. San Francisco is going to get a +1 on the next drive, so they'll have a +3 and a big chance to score here and put the game away. 7 is nothing. 8 + 3 is 11. So they get to the edge of field goal range. They're going to go ahead and take the punt, and that will give Miami a -1. That's a 3. That's nothing. 16 + 1 is 17, and that's a touchdown run for Miami as they got back into this one with a 31-yard TD run. And the extra point is good, as that will be the end of the third quarter. We'll start the fourth quarter. It is 23-13, so 10-point lead for San Francisco, and they'll get the ball first in the fourth quarter. 14 is nothing. 11 becomes 13, and that's going to be a chip shot field goal from 23 yards. As the 49ers get on the board in the fourth. Miami with the ball. Chance to cut into the lead with a touchdown. They get a 6. A 19 becomes a 20. That's a long TD on a play action pass. 78 yards. So Danny Marino and company hit on the long touchdown, and they're going to score 7. They have cut the lead to 26-20, and San Francisco with their last attempt here. They do have a +2. They have a 4 on that roll. 13 + 2 is 15. Hurry up tempo drive. They get a touchdown on a seam route, and that's from 32 yards. So they answer back with a pass of their own, and that all but puts the game away. As they score 10 here in the final frame, Miami with their final drive. 14 is nothing. 14 + 2 is 16, and that's a long clock-chewing drive to end the game. As San Francisco puts up some resistance there, it ends in a 19-yard TD run. And that will play out the game. So that is a little too late for the Dolphins as they score 26. And we have 20-33. So 7-point win for San Francisco as they have the key touchdown just before in their last drive, 32-yard TD pass from Montana to Rice. And that is the game winner for San Francisco. Now we move to the next year, 1985. This will be Bears Patriots. This was a beatdown in real life. The Patriots have a -2 in this game. It will be Chicago with the ball first. And we'll see if New England can get a little revenge. The kickoff, there's no TD. I'll have to try to remember the kickoffs. I always forget that. So we have a 9 is nothing. We have a 12 + 0. Sack on third down sets up a 42-yard attempt. 1-6 is good. It's a 3. And so that will be a 42-yard field goal. And the Bears take an early 3-0 lead. New England with the ball, they are going to be a -2, so a 3. 15 on the roll, hurry up tempo drive. TD on a seam route for 27 yards. So 27-yard touchdown. And extra point is good. Let's see about the kickoff. No kickoff return for a touchdown. 10 is nothing. So the Bears' next drive is going to be a 15. That's a TD pass of their own. And that goes for 26 yards. A lot of scoring here. And let's see if the defense settles in for Chicago. Let's see. Kickoff, return, almost. Has to be a 2. And New England with the football, 14, 12, -2 is 10. Blitz on third down. And what happens on the play? It's going to be a defensive stop, results in a punt. So Chicago, good defense there as they get the ball back for their third drive of the game. 11 is nothing, a 6. 2nd and 4 from near midfield. Let's try the old flea flicker. 1 to 3, it's a perfect throw with a long touchdown or an interception. It's a 7. That's going to be a pick. So McMahon gets the ball back from the running back, throws it deep downfield, and New England is going to pick it off. They're going to get a +1 to their next drive, which means they'll be just a -1. And 10 -1 or 11 -1 is 10. Blitz on third down. A 1 is going to be a fumble as they turn it right back over to the Bears defense. Chicago now is going to get a +1. 13 is nothing. 13 on the roll becomes 14. Quarterback is hurried. McMahon is scrambling. And he will run for the first down, and the drive results in a touchdown run of 8 yards. We'll call that 8-yard run to sweetness. 8-yard TD run as McMahon scrambles for a first down, and that gives them second life on that drive, and they wound up turning it into points. So it'll be Chicago 10-7 in this one as we get to the final drive of the first half. Let's see if there's a kick return for a touchdown. There's not. 14 is nothing. A 5 -2 is 3. 3rd and 9 from the offense is 37. We have to pass or run a draw play. Let's go ahead and go for the pass. We're trying to get it down the field. 1 to 4. We'll get to roll again, and we do. So New England with more life here. It's going to be an offensive penalty. We get an 11 -2 is 9. Let's see what it is. They're going to go for the deep pass, and that is burn for a long TD pass, but the offensive penalty means the defense will take that away and force a punt. So New England with an opportunity there. They had a touchdown pass, long TD pass that gets called back. They're shut out in the second quarter. It's 10-7. This one, a defensive struggle that we all probably would have anticipated in the Super Bowl. As both teams, Bears with a -3 defense, New England with a -2. And this is kind of what we thought it would be. New England will get the ball first in the second half. There's no touchdown on the kick return. 12 is nothing. 18 becomes 16. 12 play clock chewing drive. That's going to be a touchdown run of 15 yards. So 15-yard TD run. And, wrong team. So that puts New England back on top by a score of 14-10. Ensuing kick return, no return for a TD. 12 is nothing. 7 becomes a punt situation. It's a 1. That's a punt block, and the defense returns it for a touchdown. Oh my gosh. So this one's starting to get out of control for the Bears. I think it's hard to be messing with the time like this. I get some hate mail from the Bears faithful. So that's gonna be just a straight up 7 points. So New England scores twice here in the third. Chicago gets their last drive. Let's see if there's a kick return for TD. There's not. 12, we get an 11. We get to the edge of field goal range. Let's go for the field goal, 1-4. It's going to be made. It's a 3, and that's going to be a long field goal, as that'll be 49 yards. 49-yard field goal. And the Bears do get on the board in the third. New England will get the first drive of the fourth quarter. Is there a run back? There's not. So a 20 will be a defensive injury, and we'll get +1 to the opponent drives for the rest of the half. So that's going to be a defensive injury for Chicago. So Chicago, for the rest of the time, will be a +1 to, it'll be New England with a +1 for the rest of the time. It won't count on this drive. So a 10 becomes an 8. 4th and 2. Let's go for the quarterback sneak. Keep the play alive. Keep the drive alive. We do. That's a first down. A 10 is nothing on this roll. That's what it was. And then a 6 for New England becomes a 4. There's a fumble in the red zone after a promising drive, and it will be picked up by the defense but not returned for TD. So Chicago will get a +1 on this drive, as they need it. They're down by a score of 21-13. They get a 4. They have an 11. 11 becomes a 12. And we have a 6. The field goal is up and good. That's a 42-yard attempt. And that cuts the lead. It will be New England with their last drive and the ball. 10. 9 becomes 7. This is going to be a punt. It's a 6. That's a normal punt. And Chicago with a chance to, I believe, win this one. So 10-16, 21-16 is our score. Chicago with the ball. They get a +1. I'm sorry, New England had a +1. New England had a +1. Let's redo that. So that was an 8. Sorry, they had a +1. They should have only gone down 1. So they choose a quarterback sneak. Let's do that. And they're going to turn it over on downs. So same thing. So let's just do it downs. So we're in the same boat. Chicago, last drive of the game. They need it. They are down. They need a touchdown. Touchdown wins it for them. Big roll here. 15. Nothing on the roll here. 8. 4th and 2. They need this. They're going to go for the sneak and keep the drive alive. Oh no, they turn it over on downs, as they cannot get the first down, and that is going to be it, as the New England defense stiffens. Oh no, they had a 70% chance of making that quarterback sneak, and they could not make it, as they get shut out in the 4th. New England gets shut out, sorry. and it will be Chicago dropping this one by a score 21-16, a defensive battle that we expected. So that one turns out to be a surprise. And final game of the day is going to be 2007. This is the Giants against the New England Patriots. New England a +2. New York a -1. This one a heavy underdog situation, and it will be New York with the ball first. Let's see if there's a kick return. No return for TD. First up is the Giants. They have a -1, so 12 becomes an 11. They get to field goal range. Let's go ahead and try the field goal 1-4. It's up and in, and that will be a 48-yarder. As the Giants take a 3-0 lead. On the kickoff, almost a return for TD. But not quite. And so New England up first. They have a 15. That's going to be a hurry-up tempo drive. Touchdown pass on a seam route from Tom Terrific, and that is a 30-yard touchdown pass. We'll call that to Randy Moss. Randy Moss. And the Patriots take a 7-3 lead early in this one. Giants with the ball. Eli trying to answer back. A 9 becomes an 8. That's 4th and 2. They're going to go for the quarterback sneak. Oh, no, and they don't get it. They have to turn it over on downs. Ooh, the sneak is not working these days. So New England takes the ball. An 8 is nothing on the injury penalty roll. A 9 + 2 is 11. They get to the edge of field goal range. They're going to kick the field goal. It's a 4, and that is good from 44 yards. As they take a 10-3 lead going into the second quarter. Let's check the TD on the kick return. No touchdown. New York. A 5, that's going to be an offensive penalty on the Giants. A 10 becomes a 9. So we'll go with the short pass. 1-8. So that's going to be a drive ending in a field goal, but there's an offensive penalty, so defense is going to take it and force the punt. It could have been that there was an interception, but once they chose this, I guess they should have just said it's going to be a punt. So New England with the football after the punt. They have a 10-3 lead. A 10 is nothing. An 8 becomes a 10. So blitz on 3rd and short, and that will lead to a defensive stop. So nice play from the New York Giants defense, Strahan and company, shutting down the New England offense on 3rd down. And 11 is nothing. 8 -1 is 7. This will be a play ending in a punt. Oh no, it's a punt block, and the defense returns it for a TD. And that's how the half is going to end. So New England with a punt block for a touchdown. So a defensive score, and they're going to go into halftime with a 17-3 lead over the Giants. As the Giants get shut out here in the second half, or the second quarter, New England's going to turn right around and get the football coming out of the halftime. 10. 13 becomes 15, and they take the first drive down, and it's going to be another. I don't know if Gronk was playing for him then. Maybe he was. We'll call it to Randy Moss again, as these two are having a nice connection. That's a 34-yard TD pass. Brady to Moss. So that'll be 6 + 1. And this one is 24-3. New York with an opportunity here. Eli has to answer back. 7 is nothing. And 11 becomes a 10. blitz on third down, and a 6 is going to be a defensive stop from the New England defense. This 3 minus 2 is almost as good as you can be. The best team you could be is a +3 -3. And this New England team is one of the best teams I've ever rated as far as offense and defense, both total team rating. New England will be a 7. 7 becomes a 9. So they're going to go for the backbreaker. This is the pass. Deep. 1 to 6. It's a touchdown. It's a 2, and that is a killer. So that's going to be a 42-yard touchdown pass. And that is probably just going to end it right there as they get the extra point. And 14 points go up here in the third. New York with the ball, but they're down 31-3. This one a laugher. 8 is nothing. 8 here. -1 is 7. That's going to be another punt opportunity, and this time it's returned for a TD. So the punt goes for 0. New England is going to have a punt return for a touchdown. They've already had a punt block for a touchdown. And this is just a total team defeat for the New England Patriots as they're up now 38. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 38-3. And New York with the football. We'll play this one out. Run back for a TD, no. And a 10 is nothing. A 12 becomes an 11. So they got to go for the field goal here, 1-4. And they're going to miss. And we're going to look at the field goal. There's no block. So just a field goal miss as they leave more points out there. New England's final drive. An 8 is nothing. 11 becomes 13. So they're going to end their red zone trip with a 25-yard field goal. And New York, a final drive. See if they can run one back. That might be a saving highlight for them, but doesn't happen. A 16 is nothing. A 14 becomes 13, and they're going to get at least a field goal. That's from 30 yards, or I'm sorry, 20 yards, as they can't break through in the red zone. They do score in the fourth, but not the third, and this one is a laugher. This is going to be 41-6. 2007 Patriots go in and wax the New York Giants. So we got 85 Super Bowl, 33-26. That was a San Francisco win. The 86, so 85 season, 86 Super Bowl, 21-16 as we reverse history. New England comes up with the win, stopping Chicago on a quarterback sneak. And that ended the game. 41-6 is New England over New York. And that is a revenge game from the 2008 Super Bowl. All right. I will put it away there, but thanks for checking this out. This is a new drive-by-drive game, again, using the play-action football ratings to give each team sort of their strength of kind of their power against one another. And seems to be working out just fine. We don't use these drive modifiers. This is for college, but we do have everything else on the sheet that is playable. If you're interested in this game, send me an email to clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. You can also join the Facebook group and go to the files section of the Facebook group, and you can pick that up there. Sorry, I guess you could see all the scores there. And so you can pick that up in the file section. You'll get the advanced game, and then there's also the basic game. So you can see the basic game here is very similar, but it just doesn't have all the extra decision making and stuff like that. It's more like sitting and watching the game play out. And then you'll just need at least 2 D6 or D10 dice to play the game, and you could probably just roll those over and over if you wanted to. I like to roll 4 just to have the injury and penalty dice. You don't even have to play with that. That's a total optional thing, so you can just play a little bit quicker without those dice, and you don't have to do the kick returns. Like, there's just some optional things that are going on here if you want to add a little bit more depth. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. You will be notified of new videos when they're posted. And if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's an easy way to support what we're doing. You can also go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and pick up a season. We have lots of games in production, so you can check those out, including Play Action Football. You can get the entire season of games. This is a play-by-play football game. You can see that this drive-by-drive system fits in really nicely with it. So you could be able to put those two things together, but you can actually play play-by-play football games in usually under an hour and a half. And so the game plays very quickly and smoothly. You can keep all the major stats for the different players. Players are included. The major players for each of the stat categories is included, including all the starting defensive and offensive lineups. And if you get the 1978 season, I've included some little abbreviated cards that are like poker-sized cards they just have the team ratings, the kicking, the passing and running percentages for the team, but not the player names. So if you wanted to take up a little bit less space, you didn't really want to keep the player names and stats, then you can use those. But the fuller size cards are 4 to a sheet, and they're smaller, but they're not poker size. They're a little bit bigger than that. All right. I think that's it from here. The next thing I'm working on is on-base baseball for 2025. Hopefully I can get that finished before the playoffs are finished. And then I'll begin working on precision baseball and see if we can get that out as well. And then I need to finish up AIG baseball and the new Between the Lines, which is a batted ball, sabermetric driven baseball game. So I need to make sure I finish that this winter as well. All right. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section. I'll get to them as quickly as I can, usually the same day. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.